Yeah. All right, guys. All right, guys. The mic is hot. All right. The mic is hot. We are live with another one. Okay. Welcome to the channel. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys. You already know what today's topic is, as usual, with UFC 319 behind us, guys. This is my UFC Fight Night predictions for this UFC Fight Night here happening on Saturday in China. Okay, headline by Johnny Walker and Zhang Ming Yang. Okay, I'm gonna start right from the bottom. I'm working my way up. Okay, this is my UFC fight predictions for this Saturday's fight night. It's crazy because this fight night actually starts really early. The prelims start at 3 o'clock in the morning, guys. Okay, the prelims start at 3 o'clock in the morning this Saturday. Okay, I will be going live for this event. This is gonna be a hard one. You guys are gonna catch me, almost sleeping basically. Okay. The prelims start at 3 a.m. The main card starts at 6 a.m. My gosh, such an early card. But then again, it's happening, across the world in China. But let's start right from the top. Here goes my UFC fight predictions, guys. We got Uran Saldibaldioff versus Dyer Nogoze. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm having trouble pronunciating these names here. All right. Uran Saldibaldioff. Okay, he is 0-1. All right, he is 0-1, and so is Dyer. Dyer is actually 0-1. This is the battle, guys, of 0-1. Okay, I'm not impressed by either of these guys, to be honest with you. All right, their record speaks for themselves. That's why the UFC most likely puts them in this slot. Okay, but I'm definitely not impressed with this. If I had to pick somebody, to be honest with you, this is a 50-50 fight, guys. Okay, 50-50 fight. No disrespect to these fighters, but I'm gonna say this, okay? Dead bodies, okay? But if I had to pick somebody right now from the top of my head, I'm going with Uran Saldibaldioff. I think he'll be able to pull it off, probably by a split decision, unanimous decision. I don't see anything exciting happening in this bout between Uran and Dyer, to be honest with you, with a record of 0-2 between both of them. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm picking Uran Saldibaldioff to beat Dyer, guys, okay? That is my UFC fight predictions for that fight. Diddy up here. What's up, Diddy? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to your channel. How you doing? Shout out to Diddy Booty Jackson. That's what the tasteful thickness said. All right, we got Taya Lake Nuriji versus Kiefer Crosby. Say that 300 times. Look, guys, Kiefer Crosby, he is 0-2. All right, 0-2 in his last 2 fights. Hasn't won anything. I'm not impressed with anything that he brings, to be honest with you. He's basically a walking L, to be real. Taya Lake, he's 1-0. Fairly new in the UFC, but at least he is 1-0. I think Taya Lake is going to be able to go in there and most likely do whatever he wants against Crosby, to be honest with you. I don't see Crosby bringing anything to Taya Lake, that's going to be able to stop Taya Lake, especially early on. I just think Crosby is a dead body as well. I mean, this card, I'll give my UFC, I'll give my, the grade for this card, but as it stands right now, guys, this is not a good fight right here. But I'm going to pick Taya Lake to beat Crosby. I think Taya Lake will be able to give Kiefer Crosby another L, and then most likely he'll be 0-3. And soon to be packing his bags, to be honest with you. All right, guys. Moving on to my next fight, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, run up those likes, run up those subscriptions, and run up the shares, man. Do me the favor. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Okay, bro, you weak as fuck. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. If I'm weak as fuck, get off my channel, please. All right, I appreciate you. All right, we got X Long versus So Young Yu. Okay. Look, So Young Yu is 2-0. Very impressive. X Long, he is 1-1. This is gonna be a good fight. I think So Young Yu is most likely gonna be able to go in there, implement his game plan against X Long, and I think most likely he's gonna be able to, dictate the pace really early on and most likely get a submission. To be honest with you, I'm gonna pick So Young Yu to beat Long. Don't get me wrong, I won't be surprised if Long is able to go in there, and implement a nice game plan and make this a tough fight for So Young Yu. But I just think So Young Yu has more abilities than Long, to be honest with you. And I think it's going to be a long day for X Long, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and pick So Young Yu to win that fight, guys. All right, this is rapid fire, guys. Rapid fire. I'm going to fly through these UFC fight predictions because honestly, this card is not that exciting, okay? Let me read some of these comments. There's good money on Waldo as a dog, but it's sketchy. Pav was sent to the Shadow Realm end of 2023. I agree with you. But we're going to get there. Okay? We got Yinza versus Weston Wilson. Look, I'm not in. I'm sorry. I sound like a broken record right now, guys. Honestly, I sound like a broken record. All right? I'm not impressed with either of these guys either. The UFC, they put on some great, UFC cards like UFC 319 and stuff like that, and some of these fight nights that, on paper look like trash but end up, delivering. I really hope this is one of these cards that just on paper looks like trash, right? But holy hell, once the event starts, it's a great event from beginning to end. I really hope this is one of those because I tell you what, Weston Wilson and Yinza, I'm not impressed with them. They both trash. Okay, Yinza is 0-2 in his last 2 fights. Okay, and Weston Wilson is 1-2. Okay, in his last 3 fights, and he got KO'd by Gene Silva. Okay, Weston Wilson got KO'd, catastrophically KO'd by Gene Silva. But look. I digress because look, Gene Silva, we already know who that guy is. All right, up and comer contender. He's gonna be a huge star eventually. Okay, he's 1 fight away from fighting for gold when it comes to Gene Silva. All right, but look, I'm not impressed with either of these guys. Ah, man. This is a tough one for me, man. This is a toss-up, to be honest with you. This is a 50-50 fight toss-up. I don't like Weston Wilson. He has the abilities to get knocked the hell out. And Yinza, I don't like him either. Trash of a record, 0-2, dead body. I'm going to pick Yinza to win this, guys. Okay, I'm going to pick Yinza to win this. Most likely by decision or split decision. I think Yinza will be able to go in there against Weston Wilson and most likely get a split decision win against him. Even though he's 0-2, I think he'll get his first win. His first win. All right, moving on to my next fight predictions. You missed my pepperoni. Oh, I don't know any on this card. My point exactly. A lot of people on this card, guys, you're not gonna know their names. I had to do a lot of research, okay, to look up these fighters. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of them, but there's a lot of them in here that I had to do some research. Because let me tell you something, awful, a bunch of dead bodies. All right, we got Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard to thank for that. Okay, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Come on, support the community. All right, next fight we got Michel Pereira versus Kyle Dukas. Okay, what kind of last name is that? Dukas. Very, very different. These guys are very similar when it comes to their record. Okay, they're both 1-2 in the last 3. Michel Pereira obviously has fought, higher level competitors. But I like Kyle. I really do. I like Kyle. I don't like his style against Michel. Pereira. I really don't. I think Michelle Pereira is going to be able to go in there, be elusive, use that, tricky hickory type of style that Michelle Pereira brings. Obviously, he's not the old, the 2-3 years ago Michelle Pereira that's, going to give you backflips and cartwheels and fucking breakdance and kick you in the face, right? It's not going to be like that, but I do think Michelle Pereira is going to be able to go in there and most likely implement a good game plan, be elusive. I think he's going to be a little bit too much for Kyle to the point where Kyle, honestly, I see Kyle getting finished, to be honest with you. I think Michelle Pereira could pull something off, something spectacular. I think that's what the UFC is hoping, guys. I think the UFC is hoping that Michelle Pereira goes in there and makes a highlight reel off of Kyle. And I think that's the reason why they put this one together. But I'm going to pick Michelle Pereira to beat Kyle, most likely by KO, TKO. Most likely in the first or second round, guys. All right, moving on. All right, rapid fire, guys. I'm going through this, man. All right, I'm going through this. Ducos is in and out of the UFC. He's not on the level. Yeah, I agree with you. He's just not on the level. I agree with you 100%. I just don't believe in Kyle. I don't believe in Kyle Ducos. I just don't. All right, guys. We got Ronzo versus Austin Hubert. I don't like Austin. All right, these guys have similar records as well. This is the honestly, this is the card for 1-2 and 0-1 fighters. To be honest with you, both guys are 1-2 in their last 3 fights. Austin Hubert, he's fought some good caliber competitors, but guys, I just don't see how Austin can win this fight, to be honest with you. I think Ronzo is going to be able to go in there. I think he's going to be able to go in there and honestly beat Austin everywhere the fight goes. I just don't think Austin Hubert is a good mixed martial arts fighter overall. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's going to be able to put on a really good game plan against Ronzo. I think Ronzo is going to be able to go in there and implement his will, put a good game plan together, and beat Austin. Most likely by unanimous decision, guys. All right, I'm gonna pick Ronzo to win that fight against Austin. Moving on, all right, to the main card of the evening. Okay, Austin's only highlight is making Roscoff quit. yeah, you're right about that. Damn, you are right about that. You are on a roll today. Okay, and what's up, Roger? How you doing, Roger? Welcome back to your chat. Welcome back to your channel, guys. All right, we got Loner. All right, we got Loner. Cavendish versus Charles Johnson. This was a tough one for me, guys. This one was a tough one for me because, look, both guys are good. This is one fight right here that's going to be a banger. Okay? Both guys are really good. Charles Johnson, if you guys are not familiar with him, I mean, he has a win over Van. And if you know who Van is, he took some short notice fights, ended up, beating the who's who in the flyweight division, and now he finds himself across the cage against the champion, in Van. And Charles Johnson ended up knocking out Van, but that was long ago. That was long ago. Now we find Charles Johnson versus Loner, and both guys are good, man. Loner 2-0 in his last 2 fights. Charles Johnson 2-1 in his last 3 fights. I like Charles Johnson's stand-up. He's very patient on the feet. He can knock out anybody. You know what I mean? It's not like he comes with power, but he has really, really good technique, really clean technique. And those punches, they could really accumulate, to be honest with you. But I like Loner as well. Loner is a monster, man. Loner is a monster. He goes in there. It doesn't matter where the fight goes. If it's a striking fight, he's willing to bang. Man, I'm gonna have to pick Loner to take this fight, guys. I think Loner is gonna be able to win this one and beat Charles Johnson, and push his record to 3-0, continue the momentum. And I think Loner takes this fight. It's gonna be a banger, but I see this being a really, really good fight. I don't know how it ends, though. To be honest with you, it could end by just a unanimous decision, but it being such a great, great fight, everybody remembers that fight. But We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I pick Lona to win that fight. All right, guys. Moving on. Black guys should beat Asian guys. You fucked up. MMA. Oh, this card's in China. That's why it's whack. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, this card is in China. That's why the prelims start at 3 a.m. Man, who's gonna be up over here for that? I will be. And the main card starts at 6 a.m. Guys. Most of us is gonna be asleep. All right. We got Mahishate versus Gage Young. This is one of those fights again that's going to be a toss-up. Mahishate is 1-2 in his last 3. Gage Young, he's 0-1 in his last 3. I mean, he's 0-1 in the UFC. Sorry about that. Man, this is another toss-up right here, man. This card is atrocious. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, who's gonna win this one? Mahishate, you know, he's fought some good competitors. Gage Young, he's kind of new, but he's shown some abilities. He really did. Man, this is a toss-up, bro. If I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna pick Gage Young. I'll pick Gage Young, guys. I'm just gonna pick Gage Young just because you know what? He's 0-1, and he's fairly fresh in the UFC. And I just think that he's gonna be able to put on a good game plan and finally get a dub here in the UFC. And that's the only reason why I'm picking Gage Young, to be honest with you. I don't like his abilities at all, to be real. This is a toss-up, guys. But I'm going to go with Gage Young, all right? All right, guys, moving on. We have Samaduriji versus Kevin Bajajos. Both guys are 1-2 in their last 3. Not impressed with either of these guys. Samaduriji, his only win is a split decision, and to be honest with you, that's arguable. I'm just being real, that's arguable. He could easily be 0-3 to be real. I'm going to pick Kevin to win this one. I think Kevin is going to be able to go in there, win by unanimous decision. I just think he has more abilities. He's most likely going to outstrike him. And if Kevin finds a way to get this fight to the ground, I still think Kevin is going to be comfortable there as well. So I'm going to pick Kevin to win that fight, guys. Okay. Moving on to this heavyweight division, we got Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta, guys. Okay, I already told you what is wrong with this heavyweight division. This heavyweight division is in shambles. All right, in shambles. We got Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. All right, for the undisputed heavyweight title. Now that John Jones finally retired and then came back. Unbelievable, guys. Yes, Sergio Pavlovich, he's fought the who's who, right? Don't get me wrong. He's fought the who's who. He's fought high-level competitors. He really has. And he's performed really, really, really well, even when he comes out losing. So Sergio Pavlovich is a hard test for anybody. Okay, the guy comes to fight and he comes to win. Sergio Pavlovich he is 1-2 in his last 3. But you got to look at who he has fought in, and Sergey Pavlovich, he's fought high-level competitors, okay? If you want to say high-level competitors in the heavyweight division, okay? To each their own. But he's fought the higher-level ranked heavyweights, okay? When it comes to Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's 3-0. He is 3-0 in his last 3 fights, guys, okay? I believe his last fight was a KO. All right, it was a first-round KO for Waldo Cortez Acosta. And look, Waldo Cortez Acosta has been improving. With every fight that Waldo Cortez Acosta goes into, you see little minor improvements, okay? And look, I'm not going to go against the raza. Okay? Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's Dominican. Okay? Él es dominicano. Okay? So there's no way that I'm going to pick against Waldo Cortez Acosta. It's just not happening, guys. Okay? I'm not picking against the raza. It's not happening. So I think Sergio Pavlovic, hey, he's fought high-level competitors. Don't get me wrong. Higher level than Waldo Cortez Acosta has fought. However, I think Waldo Cortez Acosta, this is his come-out party when he beats Sergio Pavlovic. Okay? He makes his stamp in the heavyweight division. You thought that last knockout was beautiful against Waldo Cortez Acosta? Let me tell you something. If he's able to go in there and knock out Sergio Pavlovic, he stamps his name in this heavyweight division. He's 3-0 in his last 3 fights. Waldo Cortez Acosta, I think he's going to be able to pull it off. I'm hoping he pulls it off by KO, TKO, but we're going to see. We're going to see. All right, moving on to the co-main event of the evening, guys. Okay, the co-main event of the evening. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. And like I always say, guys, this is your channel. I am just a pilot. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. Run up those likes, run up those shares, okay, and run up the subscriptions. So please and thank you. Thank you for supporting this community. Let me read some of these comments before I get it into this co-main event here. So let me introduce myself. I'm Gino from the Cape Town, South Africa. So you obviously know what's on my mind. I have no idea. Jack, give me Zhang, Sterlo, Pavlovic, all W's. Who you got on those? Well, you're seeing, you're watching it right now. What type of brown people are you? The bomb people are, or the voodoo people. She's so ridiculous, bro. Chamzat can be the first 3 division champion. Maybe, but remember, Alex Pereira, he's still there. All he needs is one more belt, and that one more belt is in the heavyweight division. So Alex might be the first before Chimaev. The only division that I currently care about is the middleweight, because that's our division and we will reclaim it. If you say so, Gino, if you say so, DDP will get that belt back. I promise you that. Good luck. Good luck with that one, okay? Yo, you sound like John Anik. Look, do not compare me to that guy. Do not compare me to John Anik. Me and that guy have nothing in common, okay? Sleazeball, scumbag of a man, okay? Don't compare me to John Anik. Do me the favor, okay? All right? All right. Co-main event of the evening, guys. We got Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling, guys. Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. They have similar records, guys. Okay, Brian Ortega finds himself 1-2. Aljamain Sterling finds himself 1-2 as well. Both guys have fought high caliber fighters in that division. Aljamain Sterling is fairly new to this division, but let me tell you something. Even when he lost his last fight, I still think that could have been a split decision for Aljamain Sterling, with all due respect. Okay. When it comes to Brian Ortega, I mean, he lost to Rodriguez and then almost lost to Rodriguez and then beat Rodriguez and then loses. When it comes to Brian Ortega, look, man, he had his time. He had his run. But ever since that Max Holloway ass whipping, Brian Ortega hasn't been the same, guys. I'm just being real. I'm speaking facts. Brian Ortega, okay, took the soul. Brian Ortega lost his soul against Max Holloway, okay? And ever since that day, Brian Ortega has not been the same. Really, he has not been the same. It's either because of the Max Holloway fight, Brian Ortega hasn't been the same, or okay, this is a hypothesis, okay? Maybe Brian Ortega, right? His soul left him when Tracy Cortez left him, okay? Maybe that's a possibility, all right? I don't know. I have no idea, okay? It's just a little hypothesis that I got in my mind. But Brian Ortega at this point is a dead body. Imagine a dead body walking in a graveyard. Okay, that's Brian Ortega. All right, you got that image in your mind? That's Brian Ortega. Okay. Guys, I liked Brian Ortega way back when. It's just now the Brian Ortega that we have is not. It's not the same, man. It's really not the same. I mean, he got slept and then woken up by Diego Lopez, guys. Okay, and look, all due respect, Diego Lopez is a monster. He's a freak. Okay, but I just don't believe in Brian Ortega, guys. I don't. I don't believe him. I don't believe in him anymore. I like the guy. I like him as a mixed martial arts fighter as well. But I think Aljamain Sterling is just better. I think Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to implement a really, really good game plan against Brian Ortega, and most likely get the dub. I think Aljamain Sterling will be able to get a unanimous decision against Brian Ortega. Okay, I think Brian Ortega goes down 1-3. I'm going to pick Aljamain Sterling to win this unanimous decision, guys. I think Aljamain Sterling is going to be able to implement his game plan. All right, and I do think his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and his control is a bit better than Brian Ortega's. Even though Brian Ortega has phenomenal Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, I think Aljamain Sterling's is just a little bit more dominant. All right, guys. We are in the main event of the evening. Let me read some of these comments before I get into my predictions in my main event. Sterling by sub. Who is your favorite UFC commentator? Who is my favorite UFC commentator? I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have no idea. John Anik like both these fighters with custody issues. I don't like John Anik. The guy says dumbass shit on the mic. Who do you think will be DDP's next opponent? I don't know. DDP got to go back to the drawing board, to be honest with you. Yo, you sound like... All right, yo, I read that. All right. Let me see. Bro, Ortega will win. I don't think Ortega will win. Ortega, a professional, get punched in the face guy. But Sterling, plus 260, no money here. Max really paused the fight to show him how to block. He really did. He really did, guys. Ortega is like Conor after he lost to Khabib. Aljo been chilling with the Russians. Chimaev, he is extremely good level above DDP, but I believe that that DDP will come back. Look at Islam Makhachev. He became better fighter after his first UFC loss, and this was also DDP's first loss. Yeah, but it was. I understand what you're saying, Gino, but you can't compare. You really can't compare Islam Makhachev's loss. I mean, he was slapped. He was knocked out. He wasn't pure dominated. You know what I mean? DDP got purely dominated in a fashion where there's no coming back. It doesn't matter what DDP does. He's never going to catch up to Chimaev's wrestling. Point blank period. That is facts. Okay. The Russian path going to KO Wilder. You will see. Jack, you've been talking shit this whole time. Okay, Jack. All right. Let me tell you something, Jack. All right. You still owe me an apology for these UFC fight predictions, to be honest with you. GTA Shorts. Welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. Man, where were you for this UFC 319? It was lit. All right, it was live. There was everybody in the house. There was like, I got close to 1,000 views, man. All right, it was a crazy, crazy day for UFC 319. Where were you, GTA? Have no fear, GTA is here. Yes, you are. Joe Rogan, not even close. Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez is a good match. We already saw that twice, guys. Okay, when it comes to Brian Ortega and Yair Rodriguez, we already saw that. We saw that 2 times, guys. Okay, and no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that again. Let me read. I didn't see the live. Yeah, man. I ended up going live. I went live for UFC 319. I went live for the main card and for the prelims and for the early prelims. I did a 6-hour, damn near 7-hour live. Okay, and then I even did a UFC post fight after that 7-hour live. It was hard work dedication that day, GTA Shorts. All right, guys, we are in the main event of the evening. We got Johnny Walker versus Zhang Mingyang, guys. Jeez. All right, we got Johnny Walker versus Zhang Mingyang, guys, okay? Johnny Walker is just not who he used to be. Johnny Walker is just not who he used to be. All right. Every time I remember the sorry that I'm laughing, guys, but I remember a time where people actually thought Johnny Walker was going was the guy to fight John Jones and beat John Jones. People really thought Johnny Walker was the next big thing, and he was gonna go in there and dismantle John Jones, the undefeated John Jones. Oh my God, Johnny Walker did not live up to the hype. Let me tell you something. I mean, the guy got slept. All right, the guy got slept by 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 the dead body. Okay, the dead body of Jamal Hill, guys. Okay, if that doesn't speak enough, all right, Jamal Hill's last win, okay, was over Thanksgiving dinner with a family member. Okay, all right, pure facts. Okay, so Johnny Walker getting knocked out by Jamal Hill, that does not sit pretty in your record, and it doesn't sit pretty in my memory. And as of recent, Johnny Walker, he's just not. He hasn't been, the Johnny Walker that we've seen and we grown to love. That old Johnny Walker, the guy who was supposed to beat John Jones and compete against him, he just hasn't been the same. Johnny Walker is 0-2 in his last two fights, guys. It's just not pretty for the guy. Xingming Yang finds himself with a lot of momentum. He is 3-0 in his last three fights, guys. Very impressive. Xingming Yang has a lot of abilities. Okay. And let me tell you something. I honestly think Xingming Yang is going to make Johnny Walker a highlight reel. I think Xingming Yang could do whatever he wants to Johnny Walker. He could grab him, ragdoll him, and submit him. Or he could strike with him. So I'm going to pick Xingming Yang to win this fight against Johnny Walker. I just believe Johnny Walker is not, he's just not himself anymore. Unfortunately, time has came for Johnny Walker, and age has hit him like a train, to be honest with you. And Xingming Yang takes this fight, guys. That is my predictions for this UFC fight card. As it stands right now, guys, I am 184 wins and 124 losses. That is 184 wins and 124 losses for my UFC fight predictions for 2025. We're going to keep getting these dubs. Let me read some of these comments here. On the 319, let me see. What did you get out of 12? Don't cap either. Let me see. I went, hold on a second, guys. Damn, where is it? Hold on a second, guys. I gotta look for it. What the hell? Oh, I went 9-3. I went 9-3, Jack, with my UFC fight predictions. The only ones I lost was the Edson Barboza, the Chase Hooper, and the Kai Asakara. I didn't think Tim Elliott was gonna go in there and beat Kai Asakara, and I didn't think Chase Hooper was gonna get knocked out by the dead body of Alex Hernandez. And I thought Edson Barboza did enough, to win that fight, but unfortunately he lost. So that's the only fights that I lost for UFC 319. But yeah, I went 9-3. 9-3 as it stands. Let me see. Pour maple syrup. I have a funeral in 2 days. I was getting my clothes ready. GTA Shorts, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I didn't damn, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I'm really sorry. Zhang KO, no other option. I agree with you, Jack. I think Islam loss was more humiliating because he's from Dagestan under Khabib and his father. So it was very humiliating. DDP has lost twice in the past. He will bounce back, but I admit, I didn't see it. I hear you, man. I hear you. Can you fight? I could defend myself. Zhang 2-0. One win was Lionheart. It was. One win was Lionheart. Okay, the dead body in Lionheart. Johnny always dangerous though. He does have hands, although he is a bit washed. Yeah, at this point, man, he really is a bit washed. The taste. I'm just going to call you thickness. You got a long ass name. Johnny sucks, but Chinese dudes always lose somehow. You really think so? You think so, Demon? You think Zhang is gonna lose his fight against Johnny Walker? Is that what you're telling me? Thickness says, "Did you see me pouring maple syrup on my feet?" No, I didn't. I don't want to see that. Thank you. I got called racist for that, but I always say Asians don't have it. Uh, no, you're not a racist. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know what I mean? That's not being racist. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You're entitled to your own opinion. Chinese New Year. It's ALR. Poor Dreekus. Well, Jonathan, let me tell you something. Poor Dreekus, you're right. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Run up the likes, guys. Run up those likes. Run up the shares. Run up the subscriptions, guys. I gave my UFC fight predictions for today. We are past the 30-minute mark, so we could talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related. Since we are here, guys, what do you guys think is next for Chimaev? All right, let's talk about that a little bit. What is next for Chimaev? Sub to the stream and then show me your feet. I'm definitely not going to show you anything like that. Are you crazy out of your mind? I'm watching the comments on Patrol, making sure nobody talking smack. I love drama. GTA Shorts, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. That's why I made you someone in this community. You know what I mean? You are someone in this community now, and you are doing your due diligence. You know what I mean? You are protecting this community. Do you think they will do the rematch for him next with DDP? G Star, no. Hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Okay. Did you guys watch the interview with DDP's coach? That guy had so many excuses. That guy literally had the nerve to say that the arena walls were closing in on him. Literally. And that's the reason why DDP lost, because the arena walls were closing in on him. All right. No, I'm just joking, but he does have a lot of excuses. Go watch the interview with DDP's coach. The guy made up so many excuses. Unbelievable. All right. Unbelievable. All right. It was actually funny watching it, to be honest with you. All right. DDP needs to get a new coach. I'm just being real. All right. Because from the looks of it, especially after UFC 319, the guy virtually didn't do anything for DDP. He didn't give him any corner advice or nothing. Nothing at all. So I met Dustin, but bitched out and didn't ask him that question, guys. Jonathan, you were supposed to hold it down for Jason 9. Okay, Jason 9 not in the chat today. But next time I see Jason 9, I will let him know that Jonathan did meet Dustin, but he did not. He did not bring up the question. All right, and that's messed up. That's messed up. G-Star is laughing. Zhang has 10 strikes per minute. Walker has 3.8. Damn. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a big difference. I went 7-5. LOL, you didn't pick. You didn't pick Joseph Morales, boy. I picked against Murphy. LOL, I think he beats Volk if they fight. Joseph Morales? I think I picked Joseph Morales. Hold on a second. Maybe I counted wrong. Hold on a second. Did I not do Joseph Morales? Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I picked Joseph Morales to win. Yeah, I did. I picked Joseph Morales to win. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I picked Joseph Morales to win. But I should start watching UFC. You definitely should, GTA Short. Start watching UFC. And if you're not, I mean, it's going to be free. All the events are going to be free on Paramount. All you have to do is get Paramount now when it comes on 2026. All right. He was too nice, man. LOL. But Pettis seemed like a cocky asshole. Pettis? You mean like Anthony Pettis? Anthony Pettis seemed like a cocky asshole. That's what you're saying? Angus says Zhang by round 1 KO. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Jonathan, here we go. I have the inside scoop on Brian Battles. I was sat next to him and he was eating fries and chicken tenders 5 days before weigh-ins. Oh, Jonathan hitting us with some big news about Brian Battles being out there eating some fat ass fucking fried chicken tenders 5 days away before the fucking weigh-ins. And that's the real reason why Brian Battles freaking didn't make weight. Let me tell you something about Brian Battles. That guy's nutritionist, it has to be Big Country or Tio Teravasa. I'm just being honest with you. You know what I mean? Everybody knows, Brian Battles, he comes from, he used to walk around damn near 300 pounds. So when it comes to Brian Battles, he's having struggles with his weight. I tell you what, one more weight issue, the UFC is going to cut him. Mark my words, guys. Mark my words. And now that I'm hearing this information by GTA, the inside scoop, I mean, not GTA, by Jonathan, the inside scoop, excuse me, I have to say, Brian Battles, I'm not happy with you. Okay, I'm not happy with you at all. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Give me some likes. Run up those likes, okay? Run up those subscriptions. Support the community. Let me see. He was huge, dude. I'm 6'1", and he was taller and looked big as fuck. Brian Battles? Hell yeah, he is big as hell. The guy used to weigh 300 pounds. Brian Battles used to weigh about 300 pounds, guys. He used to have a weight issue. All right? Until he, got into mixed martial arts, and then mixed martial arts, kind of, controlled his weight issues. But now, these weight issues have came back, and they came back just not at a good time. All right? Not at a good time. Thickness says watching UFC used to be insane. Fight Pass, then NBC, then via pay-per-view or ESPN. You're shucking and jiving to watch one even. UFC was always so dumb for that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I understand what you're talking about. Yeah, sometimes, events, they're put everywhere. You got some events on UFC Fight Pass. You have some events on Hulu or whatever it might be. And then, an event on ESPN. It was yeah, for the most part it was okay. But I am happy for this Paramount deal, to be honest with you. Now we don't have to pay for pay-per-view, and it's going to be more accessible to the everyday person, to be real. I feel bad outing Brian, LOL, because he was cool as hell. You see what I'm saying? That's cool as hell. But Jonathan, let's go back to what you were saying. You said Anthony Pettis was a scumbag. Is that what you're telling me? Is that who you were talking about, Anthony Pettis? I need you to verify, because I need to know. Okay, I need to know. All right. I've met some fighters as well, and if you're telling me Anthony Pettis was just a jackass, you got to let me know. Guys, like and subscribe. Come on now. Let's get it. But you shouldn't feel bad for Brian Battles. Unfortunately, he just didn't make weight. He has weight issues, okay? And it's unfortunate that 5 days before the weigh-ins, he was eating, fat-ass chicken tenders. I met Volk on Omegle. Thickness, you are out of control. Out of control. Let me see. What do you watch it on? You're talking about the UFC? What do I watch it on? I watch it on ESPN. That's where I watch UFC. I watch it on ESPN. Yeah, Anthony, he wasn't talking to any fans and just seemed short with everyone. Damn. I wonder why. I wonder why he was doing that. That's weird to me. I mean, because you're getting paid to do that. It's not like you're not getting paid to do that. You know what I mean? Like, when you go out to these to these events, these fighters, they get paid. They get paid like $20,000 to $25,000 to just interact with fans. So I don't know why Anthony Pettis was being a fucking dick. And I apologize about that, Jonathan. I apologize for him. You know what I mean? Because people shouldn't be acting that way. You know what I mean? Especially, when you got fans going out there to see you, to interact with you. They shouldn't have a bad experience with you, unfortunately. Fucking sucks. I apologize. Okay. I got pictures with them, which was cool, but just had bad energy. I got you. I got you. Brian Battles looked like a black dude hiding as an Asian guy. That's fucked up, thickness. He was very busy running the show, though, so I get it. It was his promotion, APFC. So it was Anthony. Okay, so it was Anthony Pettis Shaft Black battle. So this was an event that Anthony Pettis was putting together. Is that what you're saying, Jonathan? Because if that's the case, then I could understand why Anthony Pettis was being very short. Most likely he had a lot on his mind. Most likely he had a lot on his plate. So that's probably why that interaction came the way it did. I got into hockey, but my new one will UFC. Well, GTA Shorts, welcome. Okay, welcome. And if you are into hockey, who's your favorite team in hockey? Okay, my favorite team is the Rangers. Okay, I do watch hockey. The only team that I do watch is the Rangers. I don't watch any other hockey team because that is just the way I do things. Okay. Pettis was weird. He was fragile in the cage, but got it done a ton. Yeah, thickness, I agree with you. I mean, Anthony Pettis was the only guy to get on the Wheaties box. He had a lot of success, and he was going to be, very successful, but unfortunately, that success was cut short. Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs. That's a good team. Toronto Maple Leafs, that's a good team. You guys are a good team. All right. All right. I see you. GTA. I see you. When the Maple Leafs come to town, I'll make sure to let you know. Okay. I'll make sure to let you know. All right. Someone say maple syrup. There you go. After seeing how little Pettis was, I give him a lot of credit for being top 5 at welterweight. Really? He was smaller? Man. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's crazy. That is crazy. Tasteful. LOL. On my feet. Come on, thickness. You're out of control. You are out of control, thickness. Stop the nonsense, okay? Dean, welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. How you doing? Long-time supporter, long-time hater. Dean, I'm just joking. But how you doing, Dean? Hopefully you had a good weekend. Hopefully you had a good, a good Sunday as well. And how you doing? How you doing, Dean? What's going on? Let me know. Did you watch UFC 319? Did you like UFC 319? Did you think UFC 319 delivered? Was there any fights on UFC 319 that you thought were, it didn't deliver as it was because everybody's pissed off about the main event? You already know how that goes. Brian Battles looked like a giant next to him, and they fought at the same weight before. Did he really? Damn, Jonathan, thank you for the info. Yo, no one talked about the drone that was sick. What? Drone cam. Yo, no one talked about the drone cam that was sick. What drone cam? What are you talking about? What drone cam? What drone cam? I'm not understanding what you're talking about. Let me know. I'm going to stay on here for a little longer, guys. They had a drone on camera in the arena. Did they really? Huh. I mean, I ordered the pay-per-view. I didn't see any drone view. The fuck? I spent fucking $80. And I didn't get no fucking drone view. The fuck are you talking about? I'm calling ESPN, bro. Yeah, I seen the drone cam. It was flying in the cage at one point. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did get the drone. I didn't see it though. All right, I didn't see it. Damn, I gotta check that out. What time is it for you, OE? Right now it is 6 o'clock in the morning. It just turned 6 o'clock in the morning. As it is right now, guys. It's an early one right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've been up since damn near 12 o'clock. Dudes in New York, I can smell his curry. Dudes in New York, I can smell his curry. You tripping, man. I definitely don't cook with curry, guys. I am not Indian. Okay. I am not Indian, so I don't cook with curry. Okay. I am Hispanic. So what I'm cooking with is sazon, Goya. You know what I mean? Adobo. You know what I mean? Like those are the things that I'm using to cook up my meals. Okay. Sazon and adobo. All right. Those are the two things that I use in everyday life. Okay, curry, I don't use that. I don't use that not even a little bit. It's not even in my house. Okay, all right. Uh, Same. Do you pull all nighters? Yes, I do pull all nighters, man. I do pull all nighters. GTA shorts, I do. That's why most of the time you guys see me on these lives. You know what I mean? Just because I want to kill some time. And I always thought, what's a better way, to get on this live and banter with, people all around the world. Uh, so that's the reason why I get on these lives, man. Dean on the scene. What's up? How you been? I've been good, Dean. I've been good. Thank you for asking. You know what I mean? It's been a blessing. UFC 319 delivered. It was a very, very good card. I went 9-3 with my UFC fight predictions for that card. So I can't complain, Dean. I really can't complain. You Dominican. Yes, Roger. Yes, Roger. I am Dominican. Yo soy Dominicano. But I am also Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican as well. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. Okay. I am both races. All right. Mama and Papa are Puerto Rican and Dominican. All right. That is my background. You heard? Who's your favorite fighter and why? Is it Paulo Contreras? Definitely not Thickness. My favorite fighter of all time, from the top of my head right now, if I had to pick someone, gun in my head, it'll have to be two of them. All right. I got two favorite fighters, and one of them is BJ Penn. All right. BJ Penn is the first original guy who got me into mixed martial arts in general. Okay. Back in 2003. All right. And the next fighter that I've always enjoyed and I've always loved watching all his fights is Frank Shamrock. Do not get him confused with Ken Shamrock. I said Frank Shamrock, arguably one of the GOATs in the UFC. It's a shame that he's not a part of the Hall of Fame because he damn well should be. Let me see. I like that, Dean. We have our own trademarks. I'ma have no fear. GTA is here. Your Dean is on the scene. Yes, GTA Shorts. These guys, GTA Shorts and Dean. I like the way you guys are running this. I like the way you guys are running this. All right. How you doing, Coffee? Hopefully you're having a good one. Coffee, welcome to your channel. Welcome to your chat, okay? Support the community. Run up the likes. Run up the shares, all right? And run up the subscriptions. A good pizza made by mom versus a burger made by your crush. I say fuck them both, all right? I cook it myself. You feel me? All right. I love Robbie Lawler, not because he's brown though. Thickness, whatever. Cain Velasquez is the best heavyweight. I like that. Cain Velasquez, he was definitely in it when he was in his prime. He was a problem. My Mount Rushmore is Khabib, Islam, Chimaev, and Ankalaev. I like that, Jack. I like that a lot. I'm African American, native Mexican. What? I'm African American, native Mexican? Wait, I'm confused. I'm African American and native Mexican. I don't know the native Mexican part. What is that? What is native Mexican? Jonathan says, mine is the Iceman, and since I'm Irish, it's got to be Connor. He was the man. Jonathan, I hear you. And if you're talking about Chuck Liddell, let me tell you something. Chuck Liddell is definitely a legend. All right. Definitely should be respected and definitely is in the Hall of Fame. All right. Here goes Jack. Jack says, Ilya's a beast, so is Marab, and Georgians are tough. Jack, I agree with you. I couldn't disagree with you. Do you hate your mom, if you don't mind me asking? GTA Shorts, do I hate my mom? That's a crazy question. No, I don't hate anybody. Okay, I don't hate anybody for that matter. I think people who hold hate to their hearts, those are the people that continuously try to do bad to people. You know what I mean? People who have hate in their heart, those are the people who hate people, who are seriously haters, and they continuously try to backstab and try to plot things on people, and that's just not me. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody, so I wouldn't hate my mom. I wouldn't hate anybody. You know what I mean? Blesses to them all. You know what I mean? But I love myself more than anybody. You know what I mean? More than anybody. So at the end of the day, I love myself much more. Answer was what I expected. Thank you, Dean. And Francis Ngannou was a beast before he left as well. Yeah, Jack. Francis Ngannou was a beast before he left. You know what I mean? And I mean, he's still a beast right now. Unfortunately, he hasn't fought in a while because he has some tragedies happen in his life. Unfortunately, he had his child die, and he unfortunately he got in a motorcycle accident that killed someone. And it's atrocious at this point. You know what I mean? Sad story for Francis Ngannou, but hopefully, he can make it out of this. To be real. At Jack, so caucus fighters at RMC brain overload. Hassan, how you doing? Welcome back to your chat. Welcome back to your channel. Francis is still a beast. Francis is still a beast despite almost dying to AJ. GTA says, yeah. Serious Spider-Man versus 3 Captain Americas. I think Captain America wins. And honestly, all you really need is one Captain America. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? Run up these likes, run up these shares, run up these subscriptions, man. Support the community, okay? Support the community. But yeah, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited for 2026. I really am. I want to see how the UFC is going to look on Paramount. I'm excited for this deal. And I'm excited for what's next for Chimaev. Chimaev, there's a lot of opponents there. A lot of fresh opponents for Chimaev, to be honest with you. I would like to see Reina de Ritter. I would like to see Reina de Ritter fight DDP. That could be a possible fight. Reina de Ritter versus DDP. I know DDP is coming off of a loss, but why not? Why not put him against Reina de Ritter? It's either you sink or swim against the former champion. Let me see. Unless Spider-Man has Tony Iron Suit. Jonathan, you're right about that. Hassan Nunu. What is the best top 3 fights you've seen? Roger, the best top 3 fights that I've seen? Damn, bro. You're gonna have me really think about this right now? Let me think about this real fast. That's a good question, Roger. Hold on a second. The 3 best top 3 fights. The 3 best top 3 fights. Shit. I like. Okay. I like. I like Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit. I like that fight. That fight was really good. Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit. That fight was good. I thought that fight was phenomenal. Another fight that I thought was really, really good was Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That fight was phenomenal. Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And then my third and final fight that would be like on the top of my list right now, from the top of my head, gun in my head. Damn, there's a bunch, man. There's a lot of good fights, and I don't want to say one and then leave one out. Fuck. Man, I don't know. I don't know. I can't choose. I gave you two. I gave you two. I can't choose. I can't choose, Roger. Those are tough. Those are tough. But three Captain Americas, come on now. Very true, GTA. Come on. He took Mysteria and other celestial beings. Dean says, in the comics, one Spider-Man got serious and beat the shit out of Captain America, and all the other villains one-shotted the Shield. What is the? All right, let me read. Yep, I know. I got you thinking, Roger. You definitely got me thinking. You definitely got me thinking. I couldn't think of the third fight. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good fights out of the UFC as well. There's especially Frank Shamrock's first fight. Um, it was over there in Japan, I believe. That fight was phenomenal. Let me see. Uh, all he has is webs. That's what GTA says. A great recent fight was Van versus Royale. What a banger. Jonathan, that was a good fight. That was a banger. That was a good fight. A hero who can stop a moving train versus a hero with a shield. That's a good point, Dean. Captain America is bigger than him. GTA, come on, man. He took out Winter Soldiers and Falcon. CPA, Captain America got smoked by Bucky. Okay, fine. You're right. That's what GTA says. Monkey Muay Thai. Welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. How you doing? The boxing exchange in Van and Royale were top tier MMA boxing. It definitely was. I thought that fight was a banger. It definitely was a banger. But I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of other fights out there that I can think of that were definitely more impressive. But that was an impressive fight, to be honest with you. Now that you guys are mentioning it, it was a good fight. You're right. I don't read comics. Izzy versus Gastelum, a great fight, would be in the top 3. I mean, it was a good fight. It was a good fight, but I don't know if it would be in the top 3. It was a good fight, guys. It was a good fight. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it would be on my top 3, man. That's tough. That's tough, bro. I don't know about that. I mean, I like the fight, but I don't know about that. I don't know. At Infinity War, Captain could defeat Bucky, but the Spider-Man it just took a punch to defeat Bucky. August, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. What's up? Back again, bro. What are you talking about today? Well, I gave my UFC fight predictions for this Saturday's card that starts at 3 o'clock in the morning. Main card starts at 6 o'clock in the morning because this card is being held in China. So I don't know who's over here is going to be awake to watch that. But I'll tell you what, I'll be live. Okay, I'll be live watching these fights, doing my play-by-play as I do. But I already gave my UFC fight predictions for that. Right now, we're past the 30-minute mark. We're damn near been here for an hour. So we're talking about whatever it is you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related. Rapid fire, guys. Like and share, guys. Run up the like. Run up the shares. All right. And run up these subscriptions. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting independent MMA media and building this community, okay? Imarov next champ. If you say so. But 3 Captain Americas. GTA. 3 Captain Americas. Trust me, Spider-Man solos, I've read comics. Hassan says GTA variants or same one 3 types. Monkey Muay Thai says, who do you think wins in? Man, that's a oh man. You know, them fighting nerds are a son of a bitch. Them fighting nerds are a son of a bitch. That whole training camp, they doing something right. But that's a good question, Monkey Muay Thai. That's a really good question. I like Imarov, I really do, but I don't know. I really don't know about that one, guys. That's a toss up for me. You know, both guys coming with huge momentum. Kaiho is just he's been fun to watch, to be real. But Imarov, he beat Stylebender, right? So I don't know. I don't know about that one. GTA, no way. Still, solo Spider-Man is good tier levels in comics. Brandon Silva versus Shogun, who a throwback best fight. Roger, that's a good one. That's a good one. Wanderlei Silva versus Shogun Rua throwback fight. How about Chuck Liddell versus Wanderlei Silva? How about that fight? That fight was a banger. You guys remember that one? Chuck Liddell versus Wanderlei Silva for the first time in the UFC. Everybody has been waiting to see that fight for years. And then finally, we get the fight. But I mean, obviously, it was Chuck Liddell out of his prime because Chuck Liddell did not have his belt. But he did beat Wanderlei Silva. But it was a 3-round fight. It was phenomenal. All right. I wish I could see Fedor Emelianenko in the UFC. That guy would have dominated. August, I agree with you. Unfortunately, Fedor Emelianenko, he didn't want to work up a good deal with the UFC. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. I remember a time where Randy Couture wanted to fight Fedor, and the UFC tried to put it together, and unfortunately, the UFC, they were having trouble putting it together. So Randy Couture ended up trying to do it himself, and the UFC got pissed at Randy Couture for that one. And that's why there was a rift between Randy Couture and the UFC for a long time, and still to this day. I got Cajo, but such a close fight. Could see going anyway like a 5-rounder. Monkey Muay Thai. I happen to agree with you, to be honest with you. I happen to agree with you. It's going to be a tough test for both men, to be honest. Okay, I'm done with this childish argument. LOL. There you go, GTA Shorts. GTA Shorts has been going in. GTA, okay. Hassan says GTA, okay. Roger says, okay, Dan Henderson versus real Dan Henderson versus Rural Banger, right? Banger fight. Or Dan Henderson versus Shogun Rua. Man, that was a banger fight too. Dan Henderson versus Shogun Rua. That was a banger ass fight, bro. That was a banger ass fight. Holy shit. They were knocking each other around that octagon. I remember that. Jonathan, GM3 is our only hope. Brock Lesnar to me was the biggest letdown when he entered the UFC. Dude had all the genes to be a monster. I mean, he had all the genes and all the steroids that God created on this earth, and every scientist created on this earth had him pumped right into his ass cheeks. Okay? All right? At August, but not the technique. He definitely didn't have no technique. Jonathan says, Mark Hunt versus Bigfoot Silva 1. Talk about a sick fight. Holy shit. Now you're bringing in legendary fights. Legendary fights. Mark Hunt versus Bigfoot Silva the first time. That was a barn burner, bro. That was a crazy ass barn burner, but everybody knows if Bigfoot Silva wasn't on steroids, Mark Hunt would have slept him. He would have slept him quickly. Okay? Facts. Pure facts. All right? Guys, like and subscribe. All right? Do me the favor. All right? Support the community. What are you guys are doing? Come on now. Let's get this. But let's start a vote. Best trash talker, Conor or Sonnen? Best trash talker. Look, guys, I'm gonna have to give it a Sonnen. I'm gonna have to give it a Chael Sonnen because he's the original. Okay, the original. So I have to say Chael Sonnen. All right, I have to say Chael Sonnen. Cain Velasquez beat Bigfoot like he owed his money. Yeah, like he owed money. He definitely did. And actually, I was happy about that. At August, the GOAT channel Sonnen 50 win streak. The GOAT Chael Sonnen 50 win streak. That's what Hassan says. I agree. Sonnen intelligent comebacks. August, yes. Chael Sonnen wins that debate. He wins it fairly quickly. I think Conor, because P. Sonnen was rehearsal, but was great still. Jonathan thinks Chael Sonnen was writing his material and he wasn't freestyling it. Is that what you're telling me, Jonathan? Let me see. Do we think the Coke rumors are true with Conor? Look, the Coke, that's not a rumor, guys. Okay? Point blank, period. That's not a rumor. Conor McGregor, he has an addiction problem. Okay? Whether it's Coke, whether it's liquor, whatever it is, he's definitely addicted, okay, and is definitely causing him some harm. All right, D Devlin is in my DMs telling me everything about Conor McGregor to this point. I tell her leave me alone, but she doesn't leave me alone. Okay, so I know the inside scoop, Jonathan. All right, yo, I'm gonna tell you a good Christian song. It's called "Lonely Dirt Road" by Dax. All right, GTA. I got "Lonely Dirt Road" by Dax. I've never heard of it. I gotta check it out. Thank you so much. I'll check it out. August says CTE. What do you mean? What happened with CTE? Oh, he definitely has CTE. If you're talking about Conor McGregor, he definitely has CTE. Absolutely, it was. Set Tito up with that ex-wife line. Definitely. Dax is the devil, bro. GTA Source says, nah. August, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. Yo, tell a good Christian song is called Lonely Dirt Road by Dax. Lonely Dirt Road. I've never heard of it. I've never even heard of it, man. August, nah, that's Lil Nas X. Hassan at August, nah, that's Lil Nas X. How come fighters who smoke, etc., don't have bad cardio, whereas our lungs burn after a mile of running? I don't know, guys. I'll tell you what. Smoking is not that bad for you, especially it depends what you're smoking. I mean, if you're smoking cigarettes, obviously it's gonna do you some harm, and it's gonna do you some harm with your stamina and cardio somehow. But if you're smoking, whatever, if you're smoking weed, I don't think weed is gonna affect you at all. Actually, I think weed is gonna put you in a trance to really focus in on your breathing and focus in on your running technique. Uh, Let me see. Let me see. Roger says, I can't let you get close. Jail son. I remember that. That ex-wife line was the rat though, but sunglasses from Khabib, wow, the best meme. Looks like a cookie monster. August, no, it's Islam memes. Which chill wouldn't have let Fedor get close? I was sad. Their lungs are okay because they are actively exercising and their lungs are way more healthier than someone smoking and just sitting at home. Very true. Very true. Decker, welcome back to your chat. Welcome back to your channel. How you doing, man? Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, run up the likes, run up the subscriptions. All right, do me the favor. What you think about vapes? Well, GTA, I mean, look, if you're vaping like for medicine, like if you're vaping weed for medicine and whatnot, I don't find an issue with that. It's just to each their own. Vapes are bad. They're harmful for your lungs, very much so. So you know, to each their own though. You know what I mean? To each their own. We have Sun. Mr. C says if Suzuki off lost, what what would have Kadyrov done with the 180,000 watch? I don't know. Sugar Sean is a good fighter, but ir, irrit, irritates the hell irritates me the hell out of me. He looks like a fighting clown. August, he is a fighting clown. Unfortunately, he's 0-2 in his last two fights. Yeah, they're against the champion Marab, but I don't know if he's gonna ever get the opportunity to fight for gold. I'd rather have someone vape than smoking and smelling like the entire room. I hear you, Decker. I hear you. Everybody has their preferences. Ilya Taporia. What's wrong with him? As a fight fan, I don't care about how someone looks or acts. I like watching what they do, what they can do in the octagon. Excuse me. I agree with you, Jonathan. I agree with you, honestly. Decker, at least it will smell like fruit. Damn, GTA Short, yeah, you're right. It probably will smell like fruit, you know? But anyways, guys, it's been a good one, guys. It's been a good live. I gave you guys my UFC fight predictions for this card happening on Saturday. headlined by Johnny Walker and Zhang Ming Yang. All right, as it stands right now, I am 184 wins and 124 losses. Okay, that is 184 wins and 124 losses. That's about 60% when calling it right. All right, so that's not bad. All right, I'm definitely going to continue getting these dubs. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being a part of this community and supporting this community, okay? Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm most likely going to go live once again, either today or tomorrow. We'll talk more about what's next in that middleweight division. Until then, guys, one love.